everybody, and welcome back to the Lobotomy Corporation. Ba-na-na-ba-na-na-bum-bum. All right, we share a similar thought. You are tired, and I am tired of me being a brainlet. So, here's what I've decided to do about it. A lot of this I'm gonna do off camera, but I guess, are going to practice some strategies. I was given a strategy on how to deal with censored, in the suppression sense, because I gotta tell you, insight against censored is like a guaranteed win. Especially with Callie, because as it turns out, her freaking armor suit, against black damage. So we know how to deal with them. We just don't know how to deal with them. Also, I was caught slacking. I have not been showing off all the managerial tips like I should be. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to scroll through silent orchestras. When the work result was good, the counter lowered. When the work result was bad, the counter lowered. The music that is played by silent orchestra when it escapes consists of 4 movements. As the piece progresses, the employees listening will suffer white damage. Meanwhile, the size of the audible area of the music expands. For each movement, the weakness of the silent orchestra changed. It goes from pale to black to white to red to immune to all damage. Now, I don't know if this is exactly the case, but once his music finishes, anyone in range croaks. And I think he takes all of your energy as well. Don't quote me on that. I don't know for sure. But as far as what I understand from the comments, that's the deal. And then, you know, I'll go over censored. And then censored, our buddy from a while ago. Abnormality counter can be raised by 1 if you sacrifice somebody to him. Not gonna do that. Employees of level 4 and lower immediately panicked. When censored escaped, employees of that level showed the same response. They panic instantly. So you can only deal with him with level 5 enemies. Or enemies to him. Level 5 employees or bust. Which is why I thought sending all level 5 employees in the last episode was how we were going to deal with them. Unfortunately, not the case. But it's what I thought was going to work. When an employee panicked in the containment unit, the counter lowered. And when the work result was bad, the counter lowered. He cannot have a good outcome. Like the Child of the Cosmos, stars, whatever, he can only have normal and bad. Also, his gift is a 1% drop chance. So that's great. SP plus 10 though, I mean, that's pretty cool. And we actually almost have enough for his weapon. He doesn't have a suit of armor. Not as far as I can tell. And then this guy is super, super simple. When the work result is good, it goes up. Bad, it goes down. Temperance level 3 or lower that get a good, die. Temperance level 3 or lower get white damage if it attacks them. And you can only melee attack this guy, no ranged. Okay, so I think that catches me up. I was slacking on showing what the abnormalities did, so, you know, you're gonna have to forgive me for that. I tend to be a little bit scatterbrained, but I'm gonna do my best not to do that again. I'm gonna do my best to show them off as we're discovering them, and not forget or edit it out. So the 2 things I want to test out. Number 1, can the rabbits deal with his ads and him? Number 2, can we deal with the orchestra? If we can kill the orchestra without him killing us, then we'll just save the rabbits for censored. Because even though I was given a strategy, which was pretty much one man tank him, it's not exactly the easiest thing in the world, especially when he has an execute and he makes ads and everything. Censored is tough, but not impossible. He's actually fairly easy as far as working with now, but he's still a pain when he actually gets out. So I was told that there's an abnormality that I need to grab. Apparently, he's like the mascot of the game. And Gabura, Callie, wanted it in the previous episode, and Ayan also wanted it in the previous episode. So whatever it is, I need to grab it. So I do have the number written down, so if we see it, I will grab it right away. I will absolutely make sure he does not slip past us again. But in the meantime, we're not going to progress the day, at least not yet, because I want to do Tipperith's core suppression. Now that I know how to deal with the green midnight event, I'm actually feeling fairly confident that we can beat Tipperith. It's going to be a little bit tedious, it is going to take some time, but I think we can do it. Now, if we run into like a black midnight, a blue midnight, an orange midnight, any of those, yeah, I legit don't know what those do yet. I only know that green is a giant freaking death laser. So we're gonna practice. I'll show you some of the highlights from that, but hopefully, if we can take this guy out, then I'm gonna feel really good about that. If we can manage to fight censored, I'm gonna feel really good about that. We need those execution bullets now, though. Alrighty, testing is a go. We're gonna see what happens. Anyone with super high SP and level 5 is in here. Let the show begin. Okay, so we can't attack him for a little bit at first. As soon as his first woman rises, we can go. Go, my friends! Get him! There we go. Just taking you a little bit. Alright, so the white damage is stacking up. Go figure. Woo! Okay, it is really stacking up. Hang on. So, boom, 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 boom. Okay. Going better? Wait. Boom. One more. Okay. Keep her going. Okay, Marco's gonna lose it. There we go. We got a healing pulse. Keep her going, boys. Keep her going. Okay, Marco's gonna lose it again. Oh, it restores multiple people if they're stacked on top of each other. Oh, that is news to me. Wow, that was painless. That was really painless. Good job, everyone. It took all 14 manager bullets, but nicely done, everyone. Even the people who aren't in this current group, you still did just fine. Look, Kaden, Amaterasu, you guys did fine. You were cheering on from the sidelines. You guys knew. Robert knew. Yukari knew. Evo Knight and Gregory. And Facey Randy. All of you knew that it was dangerous. And so what did you do? You all, Facey Randy figured, you know what, my gun would probably cause quite a bit of trouble. And everyone else was like, you know what? Our SP just isn't high enough right now. And so everyone played their part. And because of that, we got him. Oh, Ivanko got his gift! What? DeCapo, success rate and work speed +4. Absorb white damage when the corresponding ego suit is equipped. Wow, we need to get that on Sheeta. Because Sheeta's got the suit on. Sheeta would probably look good with a little monocle on. What do you think? What the feet is that? Get it? Feet. Okay, so I don't want to throw this day away, but we gotta get him researched. So, old reliable, Sally, come see what you can do. Calm, okay. White damage, okay. Often some of our employees will be eager to throw themselves into 00393. Well, that just sounds fantastic. Was born in an abyss of despair and flies towards a new beginning. Also, why is our bullets 15 now? I thought we just had 14. Please tell me this isn't an abnormality that escapes if it's a good result. Because we're not gonna get it, apparently. Sally, you chill out right there. Okay, let's see if he escapes. Okay, we're good. Alright, boom, boom, boom. Okay, we got 3. Agents with temperance level 3 or lower immediately threw themselves into 003 upon encountering them. Good, they became part of the feet clump. When an agent with prudence level 4 or lower completed their work, the Quiploth counter was lowered. When more than 60 seconds of work time had taken place, the Quiploth lowered, and the agent who was working with 003 threw himself in. Oh, good. Also, yeah, you guys were right. I definitely should be going for the management tips first. Okay. Employees with temperance level 2 or prudence level 3 were sucked in as soon as they encountered the escaping abnormality. While 003 is outside of its containment, all sounds will be reduced to silence. With a low-pitched tone emerging, the pitch will accompany a visually disruptive effect. While 003 is outside of its containment, all panicking employees in the facility will be sucked into the center of the abnormality and vanish. Oh, good. Well, we almost had it. We didn't get any meltdowns on Censored, and then a Dusk food event happened, and yeah, multiple people have died now. So, once again, we were right there. Yes, I'm a little bit frustrated. Because, hey, look at this. We fully discovered what freaking Blue Star does. I already went through all this, but his gift, if it would let me see it. Movement speed plus 10, meh. Sound of a Star, 8 to 12 white damage, speed fast, range very long, and then pretty decent suit of armor. Of course, not very resistant to pale. Go figure. Yeah, just no luck on the meltdown was Censored, so. Now, what does suck, Ivanko loses the monocle from, Orchestra. Sally, once again, loses the Magical Girl headband. Facey Randy loses the pipe. Evo Knight loses the beard. So, that's a lot of wasted gifts, but, hey, at least they're not dead anymore. 1 second. He was 1 second away from getting into the containment cell. 1 second. Well, here he is. So we're trying to do Tifrith again. We have a purple midnight event coming up, and Blue Star got out. Also, I abandoned the idea to use rabbits against Censored because until we progress in a day, we can't summon the rabbits here. Here. See? Expansion level insufficient. Literally cannot summon them there yet. Oh, and Mountain got out too. Oh, it just keeps getting better. Evo Knight? Yeah, literally just everyone get in there! Let's just see what happens, huh? Whoa. Mountain is... we can't focus on Mountain right now. Holy crap! Amaterasu took so much sanity damage, like, instantly. Holy crap! Don't know if we're gonna be surviving that one. Shield, shield. That protected him a good amount. Okay, for the moment, let's just have everybody back out. What? Oh, okay, it was just the pulse effect. I was gonna say, what's going on? Oh, you just felt like coming up here, did ya? Oh, you just felt like hanging out, huh? Wow, he stood 0 chance. He is still doing white damage to us. That's it, we're out of bullets. We lost 3 people. Amaterasu, Kura, and Facey Randy. I'm gonna keep going just to see what the midnight event is all about. What is that? Aleph, the god delusion. Hi! You're a giant eye. Attack type pale. Immune to pale. Go figure. Okay, well... Callie, do your thing. Sally, find another target. How about this one? White. Immune to white. Weak to pale. Works out for me. Okay, where's everyone else gonna go? This seems like purple. Endures white, go figure. Weak to red. You know what? In the name of love and hate. Holy crap! What is that? Wow, these freaking bullets do not a thing. Okay, well, that's happening. How are you guys doing over here? Not doing very good. Yikes. Negative damage to it. Okay. Where's, how you guys doing right here? You could argue, not going too bad. Sound is terrible. Their bones will snap. The damage is extraordinarily low. What was that? So hang on. Hang on. Wait. So, run to the elevator. Is that the gimmick? Do we need to avoid the eye? So how you guys doing? Better than everyone else, other than Sanity. Ah, what is that? Oh, that's bad. That's bad news. Run! Run! Okay. Well, I was right to run. Shame we just weren't fast enough. Why is this thing just looking around? You know, the funny thing is, Marcos is actually so far away, it's not defending against him. Okay. Clearly I spoke too soon, but I don't think it knows he's there. I think he's good to go. So Sally's still on this one. We're zerging this one down. Ah, everybody run. Run! Ow, 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 ow. Oh, they're so dead. Okay, they're fine. They're fine. Everyone's fine. We actually almost got one. Keep her going, boys. Don't let up. Never mind those horrific sounds. It's nothing. It's got it. Almost dead. Ah, I was just about to say it's about to come back, isn't it? We are so dead. No, only one. Only Evonite died. We're good. We're good. Keep going. Woo! Hey, the pale one is dead. Oh, good. Now there's only 3 left. I don't understand what's happening with these hands. Magical girl, can you, like, come out and help us? You would be insanely useful right about now. Sarah's dead. Hit him down! Freaking Marcos. He's like gonna kill this one on his own. He's doing great. How are you guys doing? I don't understand what's going on when that happens. How's everyone doing in here? You guys get back in there. Keep her going. Oh, wow. How is this easier than the freaking other one? 3 down. 1 more to go. Okay. Mao is dead. Gregory's dead. Marcos has been thrown into a panic. Oh, and he's the kind that just shakes. Do we have any white damage coming? No. Goodbye, Marcos. 'Twas a pleasure to know you. We will finish what we started! Maybe. Wait a minute. Ivanko, leave this hall. No, that's not what was doing it. Okay, I thought Ivanko doing black damage is what was doing that, but apparently not. Wait a minute. No, multiple people are doing black damage. Hang on. You back out. Sheeta, back out. It heals off of black damage! Ah! 3 out of 4, though? On my first attempt? That's legit. I'm gonna consider that a victory. 3 out of 4 of these totem god delusion thingies. That's not bad. Okay. I have refined how I want to do Gebura's quest to a high enough extent to where this is the run. Oh no, Blue Star is gonna get out. Ah, what a shame. Oh no, gosh darn. Ah. Here he goes. Alright. So he's in here. Nobody's in here. Oh, rabbits. Go. The rabbit protocol has begun. So, they're going to handle him, the clerks, and bodies. They're gonna handle they're gonna handle 2 things for us, and then all we have to do is we have to handle Orchestra on our own, which really is not that bad. Now, let's check everyone's sanity, make sure everyone's doing okay. Amaterasu is a little bit injured. Yeah, we got it. If I could, I would have participated directly myself. Okay, so we have exactly 1 clerk, maybe a little bit more than that. So, that handles 2 out of 3 of the LFs we need to deal with. So now, what we're gonna do, we're gonna send everybody back to where they need to go, and then we're going to bring all of our level 5s, and we're gonna take out Orchestra, and bam, That right there is finally Gebura's quest. Now, I've pulled this off 3 times without anybody dying. So, instantly, start going for damage. It's going to clump everybody up. And then what we can do, bam, multiple shields. Bam, bam. Okay, so Sally's the only one who could do damage in this initial phase, because she's the only one with a pale weapon. Obviously, I was a tiny bit preemptive with the shields, but overall, it's not going to make that big of a difference. Okay, we're gonna shield again because he's about to do a damage tick. Do it on Marcos. Okay, there we go. Okay, he's weak to black. So now a lot more people are doing damage. Now he's going to go down significantly quicker. Free, even though it's super loud. And there you go. That, my friends, is Gebura's quest finally completed. I finally min-maxed it enough to where I felt confident that we could do it. And we did it. As it turns out, Blue Star made this plan significantly easier than my tests with Censored did. So that's what we ended up sticking with. I ended up going with just letting Blue Star out, even though we do technically suffer in terms of energy and how expensive stuff is. Overall, it is far more worthwhile to just let Blue Star out and deal with the pulses than it was to try and deal with Censored. Also, we cannot summon the rabbits down here, so we would have to wait for Censored to come all the way up into Disciplinary before we could actually summon rabbits on him. You guys want to see the best plan in the entire world? Purposely flub the Snow Queen, right? And then send someone with 5 Instinct to get ultimate cash value. And it's just that simple. Now, both Facey Randy and Grapes have a HP plus 6, sanity points plus 6. It's that easy. And it's repeatable. As far as I know, at least. So, they have to have Fortitude level 5. Otherwise, they will fail, from what I understand. So what I've been doing, send them in Repression. Make sure they have at least somewhat decent white defense. Like, for example, Facey Randy has 0.7. And you see how much he took. So obviously, they gotta have at least somewhat of a good amount of white defense. But then, send someone in with 5 Fortitude, and well, bam! Profit. See, considering it's plus 6, let's go down to Mountain. Plus 5, plus 5. It is such a good gift. I need to farm it out on practically everybody. At long last, it has been completed. And we are finished. 2 quests complete. Multiple people got Ice Queen's gift. I'm just gonna very slowly scroll through all the stat ups. Even though there wasn't a whole heck of a lot, there was still, you know, a little bit of growth. Overall, any growth at this point is very, very good because we can't really get better, so to speak. Okay, I don't know what I'm talking about. My brain is just totally fried. No one died, 22 points, multiple people got Ice Queen's gift, and we did 2 freaking quests. Now that's a good day. There it is. There's the re-extract button. Eventually, intellect loses all meaning as they forget how to exist. The bracelet shall not forgive those who hold greed in their hearts, thus it must be worn only by those in true need. When the time comes, the train will chug down the tracks with its mighty horn. We could take the choo-choo train. We could take intellect. You know what? I have no greed in my heart. Shortly after I was born, I questioned myself daily about the significance and the meaning of my creation. Then you handed me the script and gave me the answer. They say the narrator plays an important role in unraveling the plot. Well, thank you. It was so much fun reciting your script. So much so that I was able to find my raison d'etre. I do not think I said that correctly. Oh well, it must have been an audio bug. Without noticing the time float by. Sometimes I have these thoughts. What if this script is part of a play that's missing its finale? Maybe you prepared a play that could never end, just so you could tie me into this knot. If so, would it be appropriate for me to disobey your orders and obtain my own free will for the first time? Do you think this dialogue was part of the script, or was it born of my own free will? Absolutely free will. I know you. Listen, I know the Lobotomy Corporation is an important client and all, but don't you guys renew the contract too often? This place is so grimy. It's like a dungeon. I always get a bad vibe. Please hold for a moment, Rabbit Captain. We need to explain what we're doing here to the manager. Oh, he still doesn't know who I am? Go ahead and explain it quickly then. This must be the first time you'll participate in a meeting with an outside party manager. As we mentioned a few times prior, our company has initiated contracts with some of the other wings for sustainable development and business opportunities. It is also my job to renew those contracts with our associate wings when the moment arises. All that is needed from you is to be our token manager and present yourself in that role. I shall handle the rest of the formalities and procedures. Associate wing? What's with that boring introduction? You may feel free to provide more detailed information at a later time in private, Mio. Mio? For now, let us start the meeting. Speaking of, would you be so kind as to remove your helmet, at least for the duration of the meeting? You're kidding! The helmet's the whole identity of the rabbits! Well, fine, it's whatever. I just gotta brief the content of the contract from my end, right? I mean... Ugh, I'm so sick of reading this out over and over. You could just look at the contract for the whole dang thing. Do I really have to say it one more time? That face she's making. As I informed you prior, it's part of the formal procedure. I myself have to specify whether or not you agree to the terms again. Still as strict as ever, aren't you? Allow me to explain our services first. Company R will provide military support and protection from all external threats to Company L. Every branch of Lobotomy Corporation will be included under the term of Company L. However, there will be certain exceptions where a branch may not be considered under the designation. Well, I say exceptions, but we're willing to let it slide unless it involves the head or the eye. The eye? Is the eye that freaking thing from the Pale Pillar that we encountered? Or no correlation? I realize the eye is quite a broad term, but that's just the first thing I thought of. Company L will provide the energy Company R needs to maintain its operation. The renewal process also includes a prerequisite that must invoke... Oh, that invokes a mutual and continual agreement between Company W and Company L. Blah, 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 blah. She's just, like, very bored. She's like... And let's see. Company L will provide all specialized immunization utilized for killing all the abnormalities. Our rabbit team members will have their memories erased after the completion of their missions. She's just... just rattling it off. She's just very bored. There will be no questions or concerns raised about the peculiarity of the facilities or purposes of this location. And finally, I, as the captain of the Rabbit team, will deploy my team following Company R's guidelines and assume the role of command for operations taking place in this facility. That should be everything. Look through the written contract for the finer details. There has been no change in the agreement with Company W. W? Along with that, the renewal period will be 1 year, just as before. Yeah, sure, it's 1 year for you, but okay then. On a side note, can you please do something about the teleporter to make the process a bit smoother? It feels like my body's being taken apart piece by piece and thrown out of a window. I am afraid you will need to ask Company W about that. It's out of our control. Kibura, why do you have such an expression? Why are little bunnies being let out of their cages and dispatched here of all places? You must really not know a thing if you're looking down on the rabbits. It's already been concluded that the rabbits are the most fit for the honorable task of slaughtering in this place. Oh, that's why she has a problem with them. Competition! The rhinos would certainly smash this entire place beyond recognition. And the reindeer, their Company R, with the exception of the machines that work here, would cause irreversible damage to Mr. Manager over there. Miss Angela made it explicitly clear not to hurt or affect the manager. We always pay special attention to our clients' requests. I'm not talking about your rhinos or deer. I'm saying that we can handle our own problems. We don't need outsiders to interfere. What's that? What can you do with that flimsy tin body of yours, huh? You seem much weaker than us now. Can't you see that? If you were like how you once were back in the day, then maybe it'd be a different story. But look at you now! As soon as you set foot into the back streets, you'll be torn limb from limb by those sweepers. The old days when you shredded everything before you into a red mist is now lost to the past. Things have changed. You should realize that, old lady. If I wanted to, I could tear up a tiny rabbit like you in seconds. Please, everyone, we need to focus on the topic at hand. Kibura, our agreement with the rabbit team is to help us be prepared for the worst case scenario that will be beyond our own limits. I'm certain that you have learned from your experiences with previous suppressions. The combat skills of the mercenaries sent to us by Company R are on par with those of the other wings. We can handle our problems on our own perfectly fine. I can prove it right here, right now, if you want. I have compiled the statistics. The amount of data is too vast for any person to calculate, with my exception, of course. The reason I continue to contract the rabbits is that the risk of involving outsiders pales to the potential of our worst-case scenarios. They're worth every penny. However, the rabbits will not interfere with general suppression. Please calm down and analyze the situation reasonably, Kibura. That should be all for renewing our contract. Kibura is the one in charge of the basic suppression process. I am having a lot of audio malfunctions. So if you need any advice or help regarding combat, just ask her. I'm afraid I don't have a single itty-bitty question for you. We rabbits have our own way of handling things. Nor do I have anything left to say to you filthy animals. You've done your business. How about you just bunny hop away now? Sheesh, you're being so harsh to a fellow native of the back streets. You wouldn't happen to be mad at me because I made fun of you earlier, are you? Don't act like you know me. I'm not in the mood for your stupid games, so just shut up. I get it now. You're mad because you feel we interrupt your fight, aren't you? Yeah, I don't need any help from the likes of you. Well, it's not like we're here for a greater cause or some ulterior motive. We just drop by quickly when we're called and vanish without a trace, just the same when it's time. I thought you were just like me, finding joy in the slaughter. But as it turns out, you're just crazy. A complete wacko. We're the rabbits who hop around following orders to find fresh patches of grass, but you're different. You used to know who you were supposed to fight, who your enemy was. You wouldn't believe how shocked I was to find you. I never expected to see a fabled hero like, well, this. And in a drab basement, too. The hero I remember was someone who wasn't afraid of shedding blood to protect others with all of her might. Please don't take the fond memories I have of you. All the abnormalities have broken out. Everyone here is done for. Dead. All of them? Callie. Probably. There won't be any survivors left. Abnormalities aren't something we can handle on our own. You're in danger too, ma'am. You'd better escape now. Gabura, I'm going to take part in an experiment pretty soon. We'll probably see each other again, but just in case, I want to say one thing. Please take good care of Isabel and my little Gilly while I'm gone. Are abnormalities able to feel human emotion when confronted with a person of close relation? What choice would they make when faced with such a situation? The experiments seem to have yielded the expected results. Excuse me, Lady Angela, what should I do with these? There's a blanket and a few feeding bottles left. I have gotten all the results I need from this experiment. The owners are no more, so you can simply discard them. Hey! You just shut down or what? I really should be going. Well, I don't think next we meet it'll be on such calm waters. The rabbits will leave now. I'm definitely not the hero. Never have been. Never will be. We handle the work we're presented with. Only I know best how to deal with things like this, so I can't tolerate someone else trying to take over my stage. Let's see how those arrogant hares... No, let's see these arrogant hares... Let's show those arrogant hares that we could take care of the business ourselves. Complete a midnight ordeal. As you find them in quotidian life, fierce fights break out every day here. You've seen this innumerable times, no? With enough time, abnormalities come back to life, no matter how many fragments they're broken into. It's one of the facts that drove Gabura mad. She took far too much time to understand that the abnormalities have to be exploited, not ended. Or maybe she simply couldn't free herself from the indignation of her past. Well, that doesn't concern me. The only thing that I know is that I will never, ever see what she was before. Nevertheless, I cannot help but be astonished by the potential of ego each time I see her go on a rampage. Why are you so astonished? Extracting ego is one of my multitudes of duties. It's only natural that I am drawn to its potential. In fact, there are many weapons that have enormous power in this world, apart from ego. Have you ever heard of a tactical nuke? Artifacts from the outskirts and from the ruins, the singularities of the wings, or rudimentary inventions made in the back streets. If used correctly, they would be weapons that could fare against abnormalities somehow. But giving those weapons to employees that never even learned to fight outside of basic training is as useless as teaching a hatchling to hunt. The rabbits are specialized in killing. They can spot the enemy's weakness right away and focus their firepower, given that they have enough munitions. As opposed to our employees, who cannot even wield weapons efficiently. That seeing as combat ability isn't a requirement to be hired here. But our employees don't even have to learn to use ego. The power of the ego grows in conjunction with the hearts of the wielder. Only one knows how to use it the moment they wield it. Nevertheless, even though they wield that power, the majority of employees can't control it. Swayed by it, they hardly have a chance against the abnormalities. I haven't seen anyone that can draw out the true potential, apart from the red mist. To wield ego is to dress oneself in the shell of the ego of another person. The wielder is merely imitating the borrowed ego, unable to completely make the power their own. Had I known that before being locked up here, I would have done anything to get my hands on them. If I could, the circumstances may have changed dramatically. Now I'm confined here, issuing orders to extract ego, forbidden from touching them myself. You must have been scared still, even though my hatred and bloodthirst are locked up inside this rusted metal cage. Don't you worry, I no longer have anything left. But you never know. The yearning for blood could wax once again, for it is simply sealed, not uprooted. To use ego is to borrow the power of another's ego. The employees may, therefore, gain enormous power and a strong body by donning the shells we call ego. Even more so, some people such as the Red Mist took that power and claimed it completely as her own, but our employees cannot do such a thing. The weaker one's mind is, the more it craves refuge behind the shell of another. Complete the day with 8 or more Aleph ego in possession. Yes, we do. We actually have 8. Wow. That works out. Well, that's a quest complete already. Now, who wants to use Censored's weapon? Aiden gets to use it. Reason being, he's helped me out a lot for Censored, so it's only fair he gets his weapon. Recovers 40% of debt? Huh? Censored has the ability to do Censored, but this is a horrendous sight. Looking at the ego for more than 3 seconds will make you sick. Wasn't no thing. Still a minute 32 left, and absolutely nothing went wrong, and no one escaped. 18 LOB points, 1 promoted, no one died. That's also another 2 quests complete. Blood covers the whole floor, screams echo, people are running away. And if full is full of hearts, no matter how many he cuts down, the force still remains dense. A month later, we came to the conclusion there was no such beast in the forest. It's not Beauty and the Beast, because we've already encountered that one. Oh, I was recalling the sound of your footsteps. While there were cliches, you sometimes made the results more exciting by acting in unexpected ways. Still, the endings were all the same, no matter how the process went. Do you want me to share some memories through a hologram? It's simply too good for me to watch alone. This was you, in a mess when there was no such thing as a cognition filter. I didn't know that a human's mental capacity could be so weak back then. You did alright the first couple of times, but then, one day... Well, at the time, it was a little funny. I'm sorry. You made it so far, but you weren't able to escape from the absolutely useless sense of guilt, and hung yourself. Well, you were stopped immediately, though. Then, at this time, you were not fully prepared. That's when I started to realize that it didn't matter if you were mentally whole or not. What mattered was that you needed to find realization about something to stop this endless cycle. Oh, at the time here, all of a sudden you began apologizing to me. That was... I didn't enjoy it. Are you starting to enjoy this? I would love to see more, but let's stop here for today. You might see something that you're not supposed to witness yet, if we continued.
Seems you're holding up alright. Today wasn't the best day. Incidents happened one after another, and I'm a bit tuckered out from it. It's a good thing that everyone has such clear-cut assigned roles. Makes it easy for them to be faithful to their tasks with no unnecessary contemplation or distraction. Lady Angela does a very good job at keeping everyone in check in her play. Anytime someone tries to rid themselves of their assigned role, well, she becomes completely merciless. I myself have learned well that I have a predetermined role to play. Whether one likes it or not, they've been cast into it already. Given that, I've made up my mind to simply wait. Wait for what, you may ask? All things must come to an end. So I'll be waiting for her plan to finally come to a close. Lady Angela, I found something strange in the documents. The record shows that the containment unit's lock failure was what allowed the abnormality to escape. Yet to my knowledge, that door was fine for the entire day, nor was there any sign of malfunction. And the one with authority over the locking mechanisms of the containment unit doors is you, Lady Angela. Angela, please tell me, why did you do it? You have to have known how many employees under my department died that day.
Such a bright one, Cheesed. I knew you would find out. But this is a little quicker than I anticipated.
What do you mean by that?
Thanks to your excellent effort, your department's escape ratio has been very low these days. You're a capable Sephira, I will give you that. I've never said this to anyone, and I don't need to either, but abnormalities create more energy through killing people.
How could that be?
You have written several reports and papers about importing machinery to replace the human workforce that must handle dangerous tasks, no? If soulless, cheap machines were to replace those employees, then yes, the casualty rate would drop sharply. However, that would also drastically reduce our rate of energy production. Lobotomy Corporation operates a massive business. Tasks include meeting the energy supply quota, production of electricity for the city, and business relations with our various stakeholders, such as the other wings. We refine energy via the most efficient method available and make a profit. That is the only thing we need to take into account.
That's just... How could you be so cruel?
Cheesed, any employee who works here is extremely lucky to be hired into one of the wings. Many people fight for a job here every day. There will always be someone to take the place of the dead. What right do you have to take away their fortune? I understand that you're a smart one, Cheesed. However, why won't you use that intelligence for something more meaningful? It seems you've taken quite a shock to this, but I warned you before. Nothing will change from how it is now. Did you think I was joking around denying you? How about you try drinking a warm cup of coffee instead of wasting your time like this? You should savor your relatively high position better than what employees go through. Do not forget, we have one singular objective. Oh, and Cheesed, I am the best artificial intelligence that this place has. I never clumsily leave trails or evidence behind. So, did you enjoy your little detective game?
Do you know that we don't exactly exist like how we appear? I wonder how I look from your point of view. I bet it's something distasteful and incapable. Something I would have hated in the past.
Oh, excuse me, I was thinking about my past. My request will be just the same as the previous ones. All I ask is that you try a bit harder with your ability in mind. Yeah, I guess you can only stay in place as always. I guess I can only stay in place as always, unlike you. Another time limit. Erstwhile, the world in which you stayed was once luminous. There was the sun and the moon, and also the clouds and winds that floated around them. It was a world of light, so to speak.
But you couldn't stay there. You were robbed of innumerable things. You lived with a broken heart, clinging to the void where pieces of your heart used to be. No one could understand your pain, nor embrace you. Eternal loss dominated you. I was one of the thieves who robbed you of countless things. While I was at the top of the world, I watched you and looked down on your struggle. Not just you. I have seen many others that struggled. Those attempts were no less futile than an insect writhing. All I had to do was simply stomp on them a couple times. But among them, there were some who would grit their teeth and climb up, dragging their broken bodies. It seemed that this was going to be another fun little trip. So I would drink a cup of tea before leaving with light steps. But as you can see, an unexpected encounter with the red mist got the best of me. And then you inflicted as much suffering upon me as I to you, did you not? You were familiar with how to break the mind without utilizing torture or violence. After everything was done, you gathered up every little bit of what was left of my humanity, and you threw them into this pit until even my spirit soured and rotted. Maybe you told yourself that I deserved worse than that. Therefore, you're an upholder of justice who has defeated the evil, no? Then I must ask, why is that grand and righteous upholder standing here, making himself out as a prisoner like I? And what happened with that coward, the one who, with fear, averted his gaze from my dying one? Why is he down here, suffering the same punishment as I? See, there cannot be a sight more satisfying than this to me. Is this all that idealism of hers came to be? You've dragged down your heroine with your own hands. Do you truly believe that your duty completes itself just from shedding tears at the funeral of the innocents, while you never even let their bodies rest in peace? Ironically, you found a hope in all this misery. The raw material of the bucket, and the path to the river of all. Out of her, you made the bucket, and you started to send it down, down into the wells of the people. The bucket rises from the well of a person, filled with the water that can only be drawn out by that person. An ancient fount that has been flowing at the bottom even before the birth of the world. Now it is simply drawn regardless of the consent of the person. When the bucket that holds the faded ideal of hers comes in contact with the ego of another person, a certain change occurs. Change. Maybe it's difficult to understand only by listening. How about this? I could show you one of her miracles. It's taxing, but for you, I'll gladly do it. The people selected long ago are awaiting their turns. I bring them here according to the register. Let me introduce one to you. This one is nameless. He has nothing left, for he has abandoned all that he is a long time ago. Nameless fetus? For him, things like the remnants of the past or the pain of the present don't matter. He only stares into the future. Did you dream well? Yes, you'll finally dream for as long as you want. One that you will never wake up from. The employees will inject him with cogito soon. What river flows in you? What world lies in you? There are as many worlds as there are people. Discovering them is rather fun. No one
must see this. That is why they adjust the level of cogito according to my orders, keeping their eyes and ears covered. Nobody should make direct eye contact with the drawn, but I can never dare to look away from him or to close my eyes, no matter how unbearable it may be. In the eyes of the drawn, there are only the abysses that only I can endure, and there are the things that shouldn't exist in this world. This is the punishment that you've obligated me to endure. A normal person would have gone mad thousands of times over if they had to put up with this. Thanks to you, I cannot even be graced with insanity or lose my mind. All I can do is capture all of it in my eyes. Now, we wait. Will it rise anew, or is it destined to be stuck in this pillar and spend eternity with me down in this place? We just need a little more time to find out. Now, do you finally realize what all of these pillars contain? Well, consider yourself lucky today. At times, when the level of cogito is adjusted inadequately, some things that shouldn't exist come up as fragments. How funny that I say this, but they're like an adverse reaction that has its price for doing something unspeakable to a human being. The bucket can rise with some impurities mixed in with what we usually draw, such as the abyss within humanity, the subconscious, and all kinds of possibilities, from the past, from the present, even from the future, all kinds of beings that should have existed and will exist in this world. Given that they're outside our dominion, there's nothing we could do to govern them. They float around aimlessly, resonating with the abnormalities and manifesting themselves in front of us when the moment comes. They are what you call the ordeals. Thankfully, they react to the Quiplock deterrents, so we can put them to sleep like the abnormalities. But that's all we're able to do. Yes, as you have learned, extracting abnormalities is my job. But creating them is Carmen's, whom you buried a long time ago. She is the mother of all abnormalities that have existed in this facility, and of all that will emerge in the future. Tell me, how do you feel now that you know that those abnormalities that you faced above were part of these pillars? It's an agonizing sight to confront, but it doesn't matter to you. Not at all. Or am I wrong? After all, erasing your memories and running away from them as if nothing had happened is your age-old specialty. As you're aware, abnormalities and ideals are things that derive from the human mind and take physical form. That makes them possess the possibilities of the past, the present, and even the future. They are a mystery, and such are unstable beings. However, we humans had never stopped digging at the truth. This desire to understand is not limited to abnormalities. We yearn to know and understand everything. Complete the day with every abnormality currently within the facility. What does that mean? What is this quest? Oh. Complete the day with every abnormality currently within the facility at the maximum observation level. Oh! Have them all fully figured out. Oh, that's not too bad. So we have to use it 7 times. So, what if we just had 3 people, and then we just have them spam use it? That way we don't lose anybody, quote, quote, important. I think we'll do that. I think we'll basically just, we'll use them for the cause. We'll attempt to do the day within the time limit, and then that'll help both Bina and Cheesed. Now, the midnight ordeal we technically could do, but I'm not feeling terribly confident in it at the moment. Also, Ivanko has on Blue Star's armor because it gives regeneration. And I figure he is the shield. He will protect everyone. So it only makes sense that he gives everyone regeneration as long as they're in the room with him. So, yeah. And then a lot of people have gifts. We are looking so freaking good right now. And also, Evonite does not have his Firebird drip on because I would actually like him to get the gift. Ah, the freaking double super... Super cleave. Freaking got Caden. Ugh. My poor man just can't catch a break. Alright. With about 2 minutes left, we're done. 2... Oh, right. I was gonna say 2 dead, but no, Caden technically died twice today. Wait. We didn't have every abnormality fully researched? What? Wait, what? How did we not? They say the world was a place where one couldn't find happiness with their own way of life anymore. That it was a world where everyone had to fool themselves into thinking that fitting into a structured mold was happiness. Nobody sought history or religion anymore. No one needed those pillars. Under the guise of new innovations that were needed in the world, companies emerged using technologies known as singularities. Hey, it's White Knight. Production of a permanent food supply, the manufacturing of customized living creatures, transport of cargo at speeds that would seem like teleportation, artificial intelligence that was more real than people, the technology to preserve the present by binding time. Italia. Similar to the food chain, small companies began to disappear, or were eaten by larger companies. At some point, they were called the wings of the world, and soon, a head rose to control those wings. People started to derive their purpose for existence from belonging to the wings. However, the truth was, everyone was slowly melting like the wings of Icarus. That's the freaking wax wing guy that she mentioned. I freaking knew the story, I just couldn't remember his name. They may appear to be encouraging the development of the world for the better, but their nature is no different from ours. There's always a price to pay. Any sane person would know that the deeds the wings commit in the name of the betterment of society are, in fact, the most humiliating aspect of those corporations. They are a disgrace of the world and its people. Lobotomy Corporation's rival energy corporations aren't that different from us, I presume. Who knows? Maybe they are twisting dimensions to garner energy from hell, as the rumors say. In every man, the two instincts, the primal essence of life and death, coexist. The wings only guided our instinct of life. However, if one instinct were to dominate too much, the other would begin to make its move, slowly and unbeknownst to us from the depths. Soon a world where everyone wants to return to nothing will arrive, into the stillness of silence before the birth of mankind. She who loved sunshine, who wanted to give hope to mankind, but failed. When the hand that only wanted to embrace humanity with warmth was ruthlessly severed, you clutched the void and saw the crack between the boundaries that were never shown to others. Left alone, you decided to instill possibility and potential into all mankind. Hope and despair are intertwined in that possibility, making it impossible for anyone to know the answer. If all repressed things can be extracted from the earth, you said to yourself. In those days, you looked absolutely terrible. Many co-workers, friends, were worried about you and tried to comfort you, but you didn't care.
you wouldn't listen to anything. I guess you still needed them at some point, seeing as you were the one who locked them away in here, barely holding on to the husks of their dead bodies. I assume she means the Sephira.
I want to give him the wrinkliest voice that I possibly can.
Good morning. Good morning. Here is where the records department will be situated. If you decide to open it in this place, we record and control everything.
Okay, hang on. I'm gonna go through every single character, and we're gonna see who I missed. Oh, it was the bracer! We were like, oh... Wow. That feels so bad. And the reason it feels even worse is because I had it fully researched before we reset, and then I thought I had dealt with it long enough. Oh, wow. Clerk benefits. Increases virtues for every agent. Oh. Oh, so it's another control team. Well, it's another control team, but the clerks also increase everybody's stats. Wow. Okay, well, we have 33 points, so I need to remake Caden again. Luckily, he only had one gift, so he didn't exactly lose a whole lot, but poor Caden, he just gets abused. Alright, it's only fair with how just abused he's been. Alright, Caden, you have the power of a star. Enjoy it, my friend. So, overall, everyone is pretty freaking strong. Caden is... okay, well, that's kind of funny. He's wearing an outfit that's a galaxy, and then his weapon is basically a black hole. And then Marcos obviously has the Magical Girl set. Ikari has on the Cobalt Scar and the Hour Galaxy. Callie has Smile and Smile. Robert has Christmas and Harvest. Cozy has Screaming Wedge and Christmas. Grapes has both of Letita's stuff. Ivanko has Solemn Lament and Sound of a Star. Amaterasu has both Sanguine Desires. Sally has Justicia and Paradise Lost. Gregory Adalis has Christmas and Frost Splinter. Ebonite has Diffraction and Feather of Honor. Ayan has Censored and Solemn Lament. Mao has Diffraction and Christmas. Facey Randy has both of Magic Bullets stuff. Kura has Sanguine Desire and Cobalt Scar. Sheeta has both of DeCapo's stuff. And Sarah has Screaming Wedge and Justicia. So overall, we are looking really, really powerful. Still a little bit of work needs to be done, but in the next episode, we are going to be able to finish Abnormality Dissolution, which I believe is Bina's final quest, which we should have done yesterday, but hey, you know, misplays happen. That's fine. All in all, we got so much progress in this episode. I really can't be mad that I, like, messed one thing up. In the next one, we get to research whatever our new buddy is. I think it's a Vav. I'm not sure. So we have to fully research him, fully research the Luminous Bracelet, and then potentially complete a Midnight Ordeal, which isn't going to be the easiest thing in the world. But if we can pull it off, we are going to be in a fantastic spot. And of course, we still need to do Tifrith, but we can't do Tifrith today. Anyway, so kind of works out. We get to focus on the other two quests, being Gabura's and Bina's. But thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this one. This is the progress that we needed to make. Everybody is looking so much stronger now. We need to get Caden his gifts back, which with the double chance, he is going to have a significantly easier time doing. And then we need to go through all the quests. So with that, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.